Shalom. Call Halim like Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Bashem Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And to the brothers that's pushing this truth. And peace and blessing to the hopeful elect. Shalom. Now this is just gonna go into to Babylon the Great, alright? That will be wiped off the face of the earth, according to these holy scriptures. Now, you have Christians, alright, and other people that read the holy scriptures that agree that Babylon the Great is the United States of America, and they also agree that it will be nuked, that its destruction will be the nukes. All right, and us, having the Holy Spirit, we know Babylon the Great. All right, is the United States of America, and we know that all these nations will shoot their nuclear missiles over here, ICBM, hypersonic, their whole arsenal, man. They gonna let loose, man. It's an all or nothing. I think Russia, I think it's called a dead man switch, man. Let me just look it up and see. Like Russia got something called like a dead man's hand or dead man switch. And it basically dead man switch. Let's see. Yeah, dead man, alright? Dead man switch. The heart of the system is said to lie in deep underground bunkers south of Moscow and at backup locations. In a crisis, military officials would send a coded message to the bunker switching on the dead hand. All right, now let's go into the Wikipedia on this dead hand. All right, a dead hand, all right, is a Cold War era automatic nuclear weapons control system. All right, that was constructed by the Soviet Union. The system remains in use in the post-Soviet Russian Federation. All right, and that just goes into these scriptures about Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai putting them hooks. All right, turning back Russia to that spirit. All right, an example of failed deadly and mutual assured destruction difference. All right, deterrent. It can automatically initiate the launch of the Russian ICBM missiles by sending a pre-entered highest authority order from the General Staff of the Armed Forces, Strategic Missile Force Management, to command posts in individual silos if a nuclear strike is detected by seismic, light, radioactivity, and pressure sensors, even with the commanding elements fully destroyed. By most accounts, it is normally switched off and is supposed to be activated during times of crisis. However, as of 2009, it was said to remain fully functional, able to serve its purpose when needed. And the dead hand switch, it basically, I may be wrong, but from my memory of it, it it'll unleash all their nukes. I don't know if it's gonna on Wikipedia it'll say that, but it pretty much will release all the nukes. Um, and they're gonna land on Babylon the Great. All right, and this is Revelations 18, the 18th chapter, verse 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, is fallen. It is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunken of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, all right, which is not sex, all right, it's philosophies and the way you go about your culture, right? And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And that's like westernization, pretty much, man. Westernization, feminism, all right, the discrimination against the Israelites, all right. Um, and during for a good example of going to Esau spreading bullshit about Jake, man. Um, what was it? The Korean or the Vietnam War? They had Jake fighting for Babylon the Great, and the Edomite soldiers was talking to like the people in Vietnam or wherever they was, Korea or whatever. They were talking to him, basically talking shit about Jake to the soldiers, because one of the soldiers or whatever, I forget if my grandfather told me this or if I heard it online. I can't remember exactly, but basically a soldier said that the lady came up to him, called him the nigger, right? Called him the N word, and he was like perplexed on how she like knew how to say it because she didn't even. I don't. I think he said she didn't speak English or something, and then coming to find out is Esau, being a goddamn devil, man. All right, verse 3. I mean verse 4. All right, I'm gonna reread verse 3, and it says here, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through their abundance of her delicacies. And that's right, man. They come, they set up shop here. All right, Babylon the Great had Jake. All right, free labor during slavery. All right, all that, this, that, and the third, man. Verse 4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, all right, the elect of the nation of Israel, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. And that just goes into them nukes, all right? Check this out, man. I'm going to scroll down. Verse 9, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication live deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they have seen the smoke of her burning. And they're also going to be the ones that's burning her up too, man. All right? It's like you putting down, like you got a dog, right? You love your dog, and you just got to put the dog down because it got worms, or is that type similar scenario, right? Because these nations will be the same people that put down Babylon the Great, and they will lament, all right, because they got fat, as in they got a lot of wealth off Babylon the Great, all right. When they shall see the smoke of her burning, and that's the nukes, all right. When the nukes start blowing this thing up, man, all right, it's gonna literally melt, disintegrate everything, man. Steel, cars, everything is gonna get disintegrated, all right, even the animals. Verse 10, standing afar off the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, the great city Babylon, the mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgments come. So 60 minutes, right on the dot, all right? 60 minutes, 1 hour. Babylon the Great will be wiped off the map. And it's just going to be a big pile of melted rock, all right? Burning, burning, burning rock, man. It's just going to be nothing but just smoke rising up for who knows how long, all right? From all that, from all the elements, all right, that got disintegrated, all right. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buys their merchandise anymore. And that just also goes into them going into slavery, all right, because once Babylon the Great's taken off, the Israelites are gonna take over the earth, all right. And Babylon the Great is mentioned to in 1 hour to be destroyed 3 times through Revelations the 18th chapter. Let me see if I can find the second one. All right. Actually, let's make it easier. All right, this is verse 17. For in 1 hour, so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company and ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off. So the Taiwanese Strait, that other ship, uh, canal, Suez. I think it's the Suez Canal. All right, Taiwanese Strait. All right, places like that shipping their boatloads of chips and whatever else to Babylon the Great. That's gone and throughout the whole earth. All right, because the Israelites is putting down all that shit, man. Everybody's gonna have to bend to the will of the Israelites. All right, we're not gonna bend to each other's will. We're not gonna have no mutual relationship. It's gonna be do what the Israelites say or you get fucked over. All right, that's how it's gonna be, man. And I'm gonna prove that after I read verse 19. In verse 19, and they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city where made rich all that has ships in the sea by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour she is made desolate. And um, shipping goods by sea, it gives you more profit than by air. All right, that's why you see a lot of goods come in by the boats and not really by planes. All right. Now let's prove that if everybody's gonna bend to the will of the Israelites. Isaiah 60:12. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. And that's talking about the heathens, not not serving the Israelites. All right, that's what that's talking about. All right, and in Isaiah the 60th chapter talks about when the Israelites finally get that second covenant and take over the world. All right, like Brightburn take the world. Right, just like that, man. All right, but it's not in the name of wickedness. All right, in the name of righteousness. All right, that the Israelites are gonna rule planet Earth after Babylon the Great is taken down, man. Esau eat them with it. All right. Jeremiah 51:1. Thus said Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. All right. And them nukes is going to give off that destroying wind. And will send unto Babylon fanners, that they that shall fan her and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow. And that's talking about them nukes, all right, coming out of their silos. Against him that lifteth himself up in his brigadine. Now let's get the Strongs for that word, brigadine. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but let's get it, all right? What is a brigadine, all right? Armor, all right? So going into armor, all right, that's them that what do they call those things? Where anti-nuclear receptors or whatever, where they have if a nuke comes, it has some type of system that shoots down the nuke or disables it before it can land on its target. Now, hypersonic nukes bypasses that type of defense, all right, and that is a type of armor, all right. And spare not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts. So everybody's getting burnt up in them nukes, man. All right, verse 4. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in their streets. All right. So before them nukes come, people gonna be killing each other. All right, because it's gonna be civil war. Not gonna be no food. It's gonna be apocalyptic. All right, it's gonna be apocalyptic before them nukes come, man. Like people is not gonna be, you know, enjoying society, man. It's gonna be rough out here. It's gonna be very sinister. All right, it's gonna be pure evil. All right, Jacob's trouble. Then the nukes is like that grand finale, man. Verse 5. For Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah his power, which is the most high of Yahweh of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. And that's when we were in the land of Israel, we went off, man. That's why we had to get, taken down and trodden down by these Edomites and all the rest of these nations, all right, pursuing the Psalms 83rd chapter, right, and Psalms 137, all right, and it's talking about the Israelites, us Israelites, all right, northern southern kingdom not being forsaken, because here in Babylon the Great, we've caught nothing but hail, oppression, all right. Verse 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, deliver every man his soul, all right, and that's talking about the elect getting beamed up, man. It's not talking about um getting your car or plane one way ticket out of Babylon the Great. All right, now hypothetically speaking, if you believe in the scriptures, but you're not like all the way there, it would be a smart idea to get out of Babylon the Great, right? Like if you just know the scriptures and that's it, like you don't put in work, you don't really got the faith, you just know, right? Like you just know that Babylon the Great will be burnt up by nuclear missiles. Like that's just all you know. All right, for the whole gist of things, yeah, man, get the fuck out of here, right? But if a hopeful lake, all right, there's no you. I'm not saying don't leave, but that's not gonna save you, man. All right, because if Yahweh Shem Yahshua wants you to die, man, he wants you to die, man. For this is the time of Yahweh's vengeance; he will render unto her a recompense. All right. Verse 11, make bright the arrows, and nuclear missiles look like arrows, swords, all right? Gather the shields. Yahweh have raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes for his devices against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of Yahweh, the vengeance of his temple. So Russia is going to be the main ones, all right, that's putting in that work against Babylon the Great. All right, Russia is going to be the main ones, and Russia right now has pretty much the greatest nuclear capabilities on the planet Earth. Babylon the Great does not have greater nuclear capabilities than Russia or China or North Korea. All right, Babylon the Great does not have hypersonic ICBMs, hypersonic ICBMs. Babylon the Great does not have those. All right, North Korea has them. I believe either Iran want some or they have some. China has them. All right. Russia obviously has them. Second Peter chapter 3 from the top, verse 1. The second epistle, beloved, I now write unto you in both which I stir up your pure minds by way of remembrance. And that remembrance comes from the Holy Spirit. That ye may be mindful of the words which were spoken before by the holy prophets. All right. Moses, King David. All right. Yahushua. Okay. Apostle Paul, John the Revelator, and of the commandment of us, the apostles of the Lord and Savior, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. The coming day of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Verse 3. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers walking at their own lust, and saying, all right, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were the beginning of the creation. All right. So you're gonna have these niggas out here that gonna fall out the truth. All right. You're gonna have niggas out here that don't want shit to do with the truth. All right. Let's scroll down a little bit. Verse 7. But the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto the fire, all right, against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men, all right? And that's going to be them nukes, man. Verse 11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, all right, which manner of person, all right, ought you to be in all holy conversation and godliness, man. And now let me read verse 10. I should have started at verse 10. But the day of Yahweh Shem Shai will come as a thief in the night, and in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, the nukes going off, all right? And the elements, all right, so everything that has some type of matter, right? Matter, all right? Let's just get the strongs for that elements, all right? So everything that you're touching, all right, everything that can be touched, all right? It's something that involves your senses, all right? Let's get that. Any first thing from which the other belonging to some series of composite which hold take their rise in element first principle. All right, now that's talking about something else. All right, the heavenly bodies. All right, either as parts of the heavens or because I'm not gonna read this right here. All right, this highlighting because in them the elements of man, life, and destiny were supposed to reside. All right, so that's what that's talking about. Milton. All right, wood. All right, flesh. All right, chairs, metal, cars, the streets, light poles, all right? And the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up, all right? And that's going to be from the ICBM nuclear missiles. And Russia got another nuclear missile called the Poseidon, man. That's 2 times stronger than the Tsar Bomba that can be launched at any point in the seas, all right? Because it's powered by a remote controlled nuclear submarine, right? Yeah, man, it's gonna be insane, man. Like people not people not ready. Now check this out. Matthew 24 um and 29. Immediately after the tribulation, so Jacob's trouble, all right? Armageddon, all right? After the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, the moon shall not give her light, all right? And the stars shall fall from heaven. And that's talking about the nuclear missiles. And the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. Because that's when the nukes, all right? When you see a nuclear missile fall from the sky, okay, um, it looks like stars, all right, because you don't see the nuclear warhead, all right, unless it gets real close, all right. you see the fuel that is given off, that's propelling it in this direction. All right, that's what you see, and it literally looks like a star, man. It looks like a bright light in the sky. Revelation chapter 6 and 12. And I beheld where he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth, because the nuclear missiles is gonna create smoke, all right? And the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell into the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, all right? So when figs fall down, all right, that's gonna be them nukes, all right? Where she is shaken of a mighty wind. You see how these scriptures are poetic, man, all right? And the heaven departed as a scroll, all right? And that's the nuclear cloud, all right? That nuclear cloud looks like a scroll being unrolled, all right? When it is rolled together, Salaki rolled together, all right? And every mountain and island were moved out of her place, because the earth is gonna shake from them nuclear missiles, okay, dropping onto the Babylon the Great and wherever else they're gonna land, all right? It's going to be a great and terrible day. Us, the hopeful elect, we want this day to come, all right, because we can get the fuck out of here, man. All right, we don't want to be under fucking Esau, Edom, man, and deal with these wicked ass women, all right. Luke 21:25, and there shall be a sign in the sun and the moon and the stars upon the earth, the stress of nations with perplexity, and the seas and the waves roaring, men's heart failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. All right, them nukes. Only thing that's gonna shake this earth is them nukes, man. I think when it was either the Tsar Bomba or one of them nukes Russia was testing. It literally sent shockwaves throughout the earth. I think during the Cold War, man. All right, and they got nukes triple, quadruple. All right, double. The ones that we know are double. All right, which is the Poseidon. All right, and they got shit stronger than that, man. All right, you think the Poseidon is the strongest nuclear missile? All right, fuck no, man. Isaiah, all right, 24th chapter. I'm gonna start at 18th verse. It shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit, and he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare, for the windows from on high are open, and the foundation of the earth do shake. So you people in you bunkers, all right, some people in the bunkers gonna get burnt up. Some people in the bunkers not gonna get burnt up. All right. Some people that survive Jacob's trouble, they're pretty much probably gonna end up being savages, or maybe they got a nice little fortified base or whatever. That grand finale is gonna be them nukes, man. Verse 19: the earth is utterly broken down. The earth is cleanly dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly, man. All right, and that's not talking about all land masses. All right, not all land masses will be dissolved. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, all right, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. And it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high. So these Edomites, starting with the small hatters on down, and the kings of the earth upon the earth, and the rest of you heathen rulers, man. All right, verse 22. And they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in a pit, and shall be shut up in a prison, and after many days shall they be visited. Then the moon shall be confounded, and the sun ashamed, when Yahweh of hosts shall reign in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem, and before his ancients gloriously. All right. So what it's talking about, all these heathen rulerships that are going to be gathered up, is because these heathens that are in rulership, starting with small hatters with the big noses, all right, they're the head chief of these heathens, all right, because they're the head chief of Edom, and Edom, as we see right now, are above all these other nations, all right. And basically, how we're gonna gather them up is how they're gonna survive first and foremost. And I don't want to rot this out. I'm even part of that number, all right. Is that how the elect are gonna gather them up? Is that they're gonna be in their bunkers, all right, wherever the fuck they got their bunkers, man. They got bunkers in under the ocean, all right, and the scriptures are talking about Leviathan getting their ass in the ocean, and they got bunkers obviously in underground in mountains. Um, I'm pretty sure they got bunkers in space too, man, because they got people living in space. Why, who's to say you can't put a bunker in space, right? So yeah, man, wherever Esau, Edom, and the rest of these heathens, all right, when they go into their little luxurious bunkers, the elect just gonna, force their way in there, man. All right, and take them captive. All right, it's just plain and simple. That's how it's gonna play out here, man. I'm in this off right here, man. Proverbs chapter 3, 33. The curse of Yahweh. Actually, I'm gonna hit it one more after this, man. All right. The curse of Yahweh is in the house of the wicked, but he blesses the habitation of the just, man. All right. So that curse, that main curse, all right, that's gonna come is the nuclear missiles. Now let me see if I can. What was it? I think it was Ezekiel 35th, 36. Let me see. All right, Salaki is Isaiah 34 and 5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, and that sword is the nuclear missiles, all right? How is it going to be bathed in heaven? It's going to be flying through the heavens, right? Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, which is just Edom, all right? That's how you say Edom, all right? In the Greek tongue, upon the people of my curse to judgment, all right? So that curse is that people that are cursed are the Edomites, man. As soon as Esau came out the womb, um, he was cursed, man. Right when he came out the womb. I'm in that off right there. Shalom.